Brothers and sisters, this is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, Mr. Do It Man himself, and I just want to come on and share my experience with you all that I had on yesterday. Had the awesome opportunity and privilege to march with the Faith Leaders for Change of Toledo, Ohio, in protest of the death of George Floyd and bring light to the plight that we as black people are still suffering in 2020. And at the beginning of the march after prayer, one of the organizers started us off with an 8 minute and 46-second moment of silence to equal the amount of time that white devil of a former criminal cop had his knee in the neck of George Floyd. And afterwards, he began to talk, and that brother was speaking truth to power. He was a do-it man in that moment. Yes, he was. He was definitely a do-it man in that moment. Very articulate, very knowledgeable, and he began to recite some of George Floyd's last words, calling out for mama, saying, "I can't breathe." And then he brought light to the movement of Black Lives Matter. And he was saying Black Lives Matter, and then we would respond in saying Black Lives Matter. And as one, told you there's always one. After we say Black Lives Matter, he wants to scream out, "All lives matter." And in that moment, I want to go over there and grab him in his collar and twirl his little ass on the roof of that church, because it's ridiculous that one of our own would play right into the hands of those who oppose the Black Lives Movement and to continue to devalue our lives. Black Lives Matter is a statement of focus. Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that no other life doesn't matter. If Black Lives Matter, we wouldn't have had to bring light and continue to bring light that our lives do matter. And it's been like that for years, where people have treated us like animals and treated us like property because they look at us as not matter. We don't matter. Our lives don't matter. That's why I don't use the word picnic anymore, because they would pick a nigger and hang him, and then they would eat food in delight of joy of watching a black man or a black woman or multiple black men and black women twitching and jerking in their last moments of life. So black lives do matter. And anyone that opposes Black Lives Matter and say all lives matter, you need to correct them and stop them in their tracks. Because that's another form of racism, in my opinion, because you're continuing to devalue our lives. We had to come up with this movement. We have to bring awareness and shed the light on our lives, because our lives, we're the ones who are being killed at the hands of police. And miss me with this argument, well, nobody's going to care about black lives until black lives care about black lives. That's horse crap. Crime is crime. And crime happens when people live in vicinity of other people. White folks commit crime against white folks who live in the same vicinity of each other. Mexicans commit crime against Mexicans they live in vicinity of, and black folk commit crime towards black people that live in the vicinity of each other. Crime is crime. And listen to this, America. You want to talk about how violent we are and not caring about lives? It's your fault. You brought us over here, remember? You brought us over here. You taught us how to be violent towards one another. You brainwashed us and indoctrinated us into going against one another. So don't start a problem and then blame the people who is the result of your problem and call on us to fix the problem. It's your fault, America. You brought us over here from Africa on slave ships where thousands, maybe even millions died at sea before they even reached America. And you put us to work for your gain. You treated us like property for your gain. It's your fault. And then you want to get mad at us because we're fed up? We're being treated like an apartment or a piece of carpet or a vehicle, treating us like property? Remember, you sold us on the slave blocks. You put a price on us and sold us to the highest bidder. So now, because we're tired of being treated like animals and tired of being treated like property, you want to come against our statement of focus? Black Lives Matter. And that is a fact. Black Lives Matter. Period. Point blank, period. You want to take that away from us. Blue Lives Matter. All Lives Matter. Cops Lives Matter. You've taken everything from us. Now you want to take our statement of focus away from us as well. In America, don't sit there as if you haven't taken things from us. You've taken things from us, from music to inventions. You've taken everything from us and pass it off as if you've done it. And yet, once again, you want to hijack our statement of focus that wants America, that wants the world to focus on our lives, because our lives matter. So any idiot that wants to combat the term Black Lives Matter with All Lives Matter is just continuing to devalue our lives. Our lives have value. Our lives have meaning. Respect that. Respect that. Once again, respect our lives. We're going to have respect one way or another. We are going to have respect. And what I liked about the protest and the march that we did on yesterday, everything was done decently. It was in order. It was no foolishness. It was outside of that idiot that screamed out all lives matter. But no one was rioting. We came together at the only black banking institute at the end of our march. And the faith leaders gave us what their plans are going to be going forward. Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take more than just marching. It's going to take action during and after the march. And another thing I especially like about who the faith leaders for change, they had voting registration was available. If you needed to register to vote, it was available. If you needed to change your name because you've gotten married, it was available there too. Census information, for those of you who haven't filled out your census, fill out your census. It is important. That's what we need. And most importantly, if you're going to march and protest, you need to vote as well in November. And not only in November, whenever there's an opportunity to vote, local level, state level, you need to be voting. Black lives matter. And I'm going to tell you something else that matters. Black votes matter. Black votes matter. Black votes matter. And it's evident that they matter because the idiot in chief is in the White House, because we as a people voted less in 2016 than we did in 2012. Because we didn't like the candidates. Not voting against him was a vote for him. You better vote. You better vote. At this point, it's past policy. It's past politics. The moral character of this man in the White House is horrible. He is a racist. And if you don't have money in your pocket, he don't care nothing about you. And it's evident that he don't care about us, because this man had the audacity to say that George Floyd is looking down on us and it's a great day because those messed up statistics said that 2.5 million jobs were added in May. Wrong. not looking down saying it's a great day for what? For him to die and for you to hijack his death and try to pass it off as great for the economy? Come on, man. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. So yes, Black Lives Matter. It is a statement of focus. We are focusing on our lives and focusing on what we have to do as a people to do better. We got to do it. We have to do it. And as I said before, it starts with us hitting them in their pockets. The information that was passed at that march yesterday said just last year alone, our black dollars amounted to $1 trillion. The black dollar has $1 trillion effect on the economy. And if we don't hit them where it hurts, we got to hit them in their pockets, and we have to hit them at the voting booth. We got to do it. And if we don't do it there, we are going to continue to have these issues. But it feels like we're moving in the right direction. Feels like we're moving in the right direction. And I pray heavily. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to support my black businesses. I'm going to stop giving my money to those who don't look like me. And the good point that was made also yesterday, saying how some of us have had issues and problems with black-owned businesses, and that's true. I've had issues as well with some of my brothers and sisters that I've tried to do business with, but they made the point that how many times have you been in a precarious situation at Walmart, or how many times have you had bad customer service at Target, but you still keep going back? You keep going back. So we need to go back to our brothers and sisters, and we need to sow into their businesses and elevate them and push them to be greater. Hold them accountable, but support them and push them to be greater. I love you all. Black Lives Matter. Power to the people. Black Lives Matter. This is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, Mr. Do It Man himself.